Magistrates Court in connection with the death of 25-year-old Foster of Campaign Land, Martindale's Road, St. Michael. Jackman has been remanded until October 24th, when he is expected to reappear in the District D Magistrates Court. The Welchman Hall resident is jointly charged with Tyrone DaCosta Hope of Hothersville Turner, St. Michael, for the murder of Damian Foster. Hope, who appeared at the District A Magistrates Court yesterday, was also remanded and is expected to reappear in court on October 18th. Meanwhile, lawmen remain on the hunt for two men considered armed and dangerous. They are Bryan O'Neill Small, alias Brecky or Becky, and Carlo Devere Hinckson, alias Birdman, Shortman or Blackman. Police say the men are being sought for questioning in connection with serious criminal matters. Thousands of senior citizens in Barbados remain worried about the impact of last month's budgetary measures on their pockets. BARP Executive Manager Elsa Webster told CBC News many of its members have been calling for the organization getting information on a number of issues. Ms. Webster made the comments at a health fair hosted by BARP as part of celebrations for Senior Citizens Month. She says the association will soon release an official statement highlighting the problems facing its membership.
Many of our members have students, children who are at university, so they're concerned about the university fees and the future of their children as a result. The solid waste tax and the way in which it will be administered or collected is also a major concern. Members have also been asking us, how does the consolidation tax apply to pensioners? Unfortunately, we can't give an answer at this time because we are still trying to get clarification on that ourselves.
As far as the high cost of living is concerned, Ms. Webster says BARP has been tackling that issue head-on.
One of the things that we want to do, especially in these difficult economic times, is to lower the cost of living for our members. And I think this is one of the reasons why people who are under 50 cannot wait to join BARP. Because people who are building houses, people who have children going to university, by joining BARP, there are a number of discounts to be gained.
Head of the National Initiative for Service Excellence, Kim Tudor, doesn't believe Barbados is ready to adopt a 24-hour work culture on a large scale. She gave her thoughts in an interview with CBC News following a recent study tour to Seattle, where local officials got a first-hand look at the operations of business leaders in the United States, noting that there are 24-hour operations already on the island, such as the hospital and hotels. The NICE CEO says Barbados would not be able to adopt such a mentality across the board. However, she explains there are other considerations.
What I think that we need to explore further is flexi time. So given the challenges that we have with traffic and mothers in the workplace and so forth.
Raul Garcia says he would be willing to return to Barbados as a visitor sometime soon in the future if he's allowed to do so. Garcia, who will leave Barbados on Monday to return to his homeland, Cuba, is also eager to resume writing his book, which is so far about 60 pages. He says the book will chronicle the time of his arrest on drug charges and his 20 years in prison until his departure from Barbados. The 59-year-old made the remarks during a special farewell luncheon at the home of one of his lawyers, where Garcia was the chef.
If the country or the government allows me, I will be more than glad and honored to come back to Barbados, even if it's as a visitor. This country, I'm going to carry it in my heart for the rest of my life. I love it. And I feel that I love it because of its people.
Paula Gemma, one of the lawyers on Garcia's legal team, said today's event was an opportunity to say farewell and a chance for Mr. Garcia to follow through on an offer he made to cook them an authentic Cuban meal.
He's offered to cook for us, to thank us for all we've done, and he's prepared a pollo a la chorena.
Dish.
Yes, could you just pronounce it properly for me?
It's a special dish made in Cuba that is called pollo a la chorera.
Right. So that's the least we could do for him, to say goodbye. We're sorry to see him leave, and my wish is that his basic human rights will be respected in Cuba as they have been in Barbados.
Meanwhile, David Comminchon, another one of Mr. Garcia's attorneys, said all's well that ends well. He thanked the governments of Cuba and Barbados for doing the right thing in the end. When Mr. Garcia arrives in Cuba, he will be staying in the area of Guantanamo with his family. He said he will continue to speak well of Barbados as he holds no resentment about anything that has transpired. Loads of garbage and debris were cleared from a number of beaches around the island today. It was part of an exercise organized by the Caribbean Youth Environment Work Network, dubbed the International Coastal Cleanup 2013. It included volunteers from the Radisson Aquatica and Digicel. They were hard at work from about 6 o'clock this morning cleaning up Browns Beach. Meanwhile, a team from Structural Systems Limited was busy removing litter on the east coast. One observation from the exercise was that local beaches continue to be a dumping ground for Barbadians. A volunteer spoke about the cleanup.
Right now, I think we collected over 100 pounds of garbage. Yes, and that was only our group. We saw other groups bringing back large bags as well, so it was a combined effort.
Good evening with the Digicel 4G Sports Roundup. I'm Anne-Marie Burke. Kiana Marshall was crowned Queen of Tennis in Barbados as she romped to a straight sets victory in the final over Shanice Slocum last evening. Shane Jones reports.
Okay, we've got the women's final on for you now. Shanice Slocum in the pink top taking on the #1 seed who is closest to the screen, Kiana Marshall. Matching each other's shots for a while, but then Marshall opened up for the winner. Marshall at the top of your screen now with the serve. Boom! There's the ace. Slocum with the serve. Marshall with a good return. Slocum making her run and follows that up with a good net point. Now check this out for Marshall. That's the kind of accuracy you want to get on your first serve. Marshall making Slocum stretch, and you can see a little frustration just setting in. And at times it seems like Slocum was her own worst enemy, plagued by some unforced errors. Marshall taking full control as the match went on. There she is again with that sure forehand. Slocum not quite getting her positioning right, down the line for the winner. Fantastic return from Marshall, and look what happened. Opened her opponent right up.
Andre Russell completed a remarkable feat of 4 wickets in 4 balls in what was a sensational bowling performance for the West Indies A side against India A early today. But it still wasn't good enough to stop the Windies sinking by a whopping 93 runs in their unofficial one-off T20 in Bangalore. The Indians batted first and scored a mammoth 214 from their overs. Yuv Singh top scored with 52 from just 35 balls. Andre Russell took 4 for 45 to complete the beaver trick. Then the Windies failed miserably with the bat, being dismissed for just 121. Andre Fletcher got 32 at the top. Ramul Sharma bagged 5 for 23. Well, the 2013 David Thompson Memorial Football Classic kicks off tomorrow with the opening ceremony at the Gall Hill playing field in St. John. And from all reports, everything is set for the start of the competition. The city of Bridgetown will be looking to get the ball rolling as they start the defense of their title against Christchurch South when the David Thompson Memorial Football Classic kicks off tomorrow. The defending champions do have a strong complement as they go for a hat-trick of titles, but their opponents are not to be underestimated, and the night's second game is also anticipated to be a thriller.
Christchurch South got knocked out, I think, in the group of 16 last year. They are the teams that is virtually from around the Dover area, and it will have in most of the players from Paradise, some players from Maxwell, and that team should be a very competitive team. The city, everyone knows the city with the Kennedys, the Eiffels, and the Barbados national captain Jeffrey Williams. So the city team should again start as favorites. They are looking for the three-peat, and it should be an entertaining opening match. The second game is the host constituency, St. John. They will be playing Christchurch East, so the Christchurch teams will have first outing. St. John have not been as successful as we would have hoped. In both occasions, they were knocked out in the group of 16. Christchurch East have not qualified past the group stages, so we expect that Christchurch East, with the pair Silver Sands won came second in the Division 1 to Pinelands, so their players should be the nucleus of the the Christchurch East team, so it should be competitive.
All of the 30 teams in this year's competition are set to be on show for the opening ceremony, which has an extra special prize for the best team on parade.
The 30 teams have been given 45 seconds to do their own little dance routine or whatever they want to do within the 45 seconds, sorry, because this would add to their points in terms of being judged the best team on parade. Because this year the best team on parade will not only be given a trophy, but the owners of one of the sponsors of the tournament, the Dance Girls, the Fireball Dance Troupe, they are given $2,500 in sporting equipment to the team that wins the parade. So it should be a very exciting parade.
Games will be played on Wednesdays, Fridays and Saturdays. The prize money is the same as last year, $30,000 to the winner, $20,000 for second place, $15,000 for third and $10,000 for fourth place. Now live coverage of the opening ceremony and first game will be on CBC TV 8 from 4 p.m.